What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Yeah, I had to do this one. I had to. You know, I just want to prove to people that God exists. You know, it's so many organizations and so many teachings of God out there in the world, and it just confuses us, and we lose faith, we lose hope, we lose belief, and you know, God don't come to bring division and separation. You know, He's not a God like that. You know, so I want to prove to people today with a little science that God is real, so we can go to Him, so we can better our lives. You know, I want to say that one of my biggest fears was speaking to the public. You know, flying an airplane and speaking to the public. You know, I conquered one of my fears, which was flying. I finally got on the airplane. You know, so now I'm finally standing here before you all. You know, conquering another fear. You know, God have to help me. He have to, take control of my mouth and speak through me, because on my own I wouldn't do it. So I hope God, really, really, really speak through me to get to you all today, so y'all can come closer to Him. And whatever you going through in your life, you can seek His assistance. But we can't seek His assistance because so many people is misrepresenting who God is, and the advocates of God, the ones who's supposed to teach us about God, they telling stuff to tickle our ears, and it's so watered down. I'm not going to water down this information to you all. If I can't give you pure truth, I would not be on here. I did not come on here to waste your time, because I wouldn't want you to waste my time, So I'm gonna start with this piece of information, and it's gonna lead on to my conclusion, because y'all see these three mans right here. I'm gonna let you know the importance of these three mans, because the media, a lot of people just misrepresent these mans, and they don't know who these mans are. Even the people who think they know, they don't know. So I'm gonna hit on a little that on who these men is today, and let me get right into it. But look, you all, look. In order to know the Supreme Being, you have to know a little of where He comes from, how He created Himself. So in the beginning, like in His beginning, I'm gonna hit a little science. I'm gonna give it to you all, so y'all can kind of like see yourselves. So let me go ahead and start, because like I said, I'm not no instrument speaker right now. Now look, in the beginning, God created Himself from triple darkness. So in triple darkness, you have like what you call a fluid type substance. So in triple darkness, God created Himself through in a fluid type substance. Now, in this triple darkness was an atom. In the Bible they call it an Adam, but that's a different subject. I hit on that some other time. I really don't have a whole lot of time to really hit on it. But in triple darkness was an atom. These atoms wasn't doing anything. That's why it was so dark. Light comes when atom is moving. But if atoms is not moving, if they not doing nothing, then they out of it's darkness. But ask yourself a question. What caused these atoms to spark? Because it have to be a power or some form of energy inside of the atom in order for the atom to come to life or to bring forth light or energy. What maneuvers and what dictated and what ignited this atom was a thought. Yes, thought, conscious. So, the question is, what was this thought that was in the beginning that sparked this atom? This thought was the mind of God. Now look, I don't use 100% of my brain power. God does, you know. So I can't really go into the science of the thought because the thought lives in our brain. You understand me? And I'm going to say this, the more obedient I become and the more characteristics that I have of the Supreme Being, the more he'll reveal more and more and more superior, supreme information to me. So right now I'm a work in process, but he do give me, you know, a little information to help me in my reality. But once you become obedient to God, then he leaks out, you know, secret information to you, to give you extreme power to change your reality. But this thought that was in the beginning was the mind of God. You know, it's a power behind the atoms, which is considered the quartz and the quantum. The quartz and the quartz and the quantums is the power that dictates the atoms. You know, so now you have the thought, which is a form of energy. Then you have the atom, because the thought dictates the atom. The thought tells the atom what to do. You know, in the atom you have protons, neutrons, and electrons. It's the thought that tells the electrons, the protons, and the neutrons what to do. Then from this thought, from this atom you have the cell. And from this cell you have tissue. And from the tissue you have organ. I'm sorry. You have organ. So from thought you have atom, from the atom you have cell, and from this cell you have tissue, and from the tissue you have the organ. Now, why is this so important? Said, why is you teaching us about atoms and thoughts and tissues and organs? Because listen, you all, God consists, his extreme essence, the core of his existence consists of thought. Thought is the reality of God. Now, listen. Let me go back over this before I erase it. Triple darkness, and this triple darkness is the fluid. It's a fluid type substance, and this triple darkness was atoms. These atoms wasn't doing anything. It was the thought that dictated the life of the atom. When the atoms cause a spark, when they start to move, they produce cells. After the cells form together, it produces tissues. After tissues form together, it produces organs. Elementary. Thought, conscious, atoms, cells, tissues, to organs. Now, since I got that out the way, now all this was happening in triple darkness now. Now, check this out. God consists of 3 elements: mind, body, spirit. I'm a bad draw, so you got to excuse me. This is a bad, my gingerbread man may not look like, but these, the best, but these are, I'm going to say, a little men. Mind. Follow me now. And body. Okay, now look. Look. God consists of 3 elements: mind, body, spirit. Right? Mind, body, spirit. Okay. Just say if this the big God right here. This the big God. This us, which is the little God. What is the difference between the big God and what's the difference between us? This is the difference. Now, first, let me give you the similarities. The similarities is God has a body. Which is this right here. We have a body. Which is this right here. All right. God has a spirit, which is this right here. We have a spirit. You see? So God has a body, which is the flesh, your anatomy. We have a flesh anatomy, the temple of God, a container, a cup. You pour water in a cup. The cup would be the body, would be the container, would be the temple of God. All right? God has a spirit. We have a spirit. The spirit is the energy of God. That's all your spirit is, energy. You energy, I'm energy. That's why you can't kill us. You can't kill an individual. An individual don't die because the spirit, the energy is so complex and so magnificent to where only God can kill off that form of energy. We cannot do that. That energy just goes back into birth conception, reincarnation. It goes back into another body. If you got a cup, if you poke a hole in it and water start leaking out, what you gonna do? You just gonna find another cup and pour the water back in the cup. Same way with us. If we that intelligent to do that, you telling me that God becomes stupid? Like, oh, okay, well, guess what? You got a supreme spirit living in you. You got a good spirit in living in you. So when you die, I just evaporate. It just no longer. No. Our spirit is so important, it's so valuable that God wanted to continue to live. Definitely the ones who is, consist of a righteous type spirit. But when we die, our spirit goes back into the body and birth conception. When the sperm hit the egg, they say it's a big bang. Why? Because someone who just died, spirit just entered into that birth conception. So that's why they say when a man die, a child is born. Because somebody throughout the world who just died, spirit just went into somebody sperm who just hit that egg. And there's an explosion, and that spirit entered into that, and he comes or she comes back again. I can't really get deep into that, but I just wanted to hit it a little since I'm talking about the spirit. But this spirit is so magnificent and it's so powerful. And we have a spirit, and so do God have a spirit. And let me say this to my Christian world, to people who believe in Christianity. You are 100% correct. God is a spirit. You're right. God is a spirit, you know? But you can't just have this spirit walking around somewhere as Casper the Friendly Ghost, going around scaring people, and then it just go up in the sky with some Caucasian people, you know, and then it go back down, or it go into the ground with some man with a devil, with a deer horns and a deer feet with a pitchfork, and he all red. No, that's Harry Potter type stuff. No, our spirit is way more profound than that, you know. But you are correct. God is a spirit, but he's just not a spirit. He got to have some form of intelligence, and he got to have a body to express those intelligence. All right. So look, God, the big guy, got a spirit. We have a spirit. So now, well, what is the gap between us and the supreme being? The gap is this last element that I'm about to say. The mind, the intelligence. We only use, right here, we only use probably, they say the genius of us now, the genius only use 100%. I'm sorry. No. The genius of us only use 10% of our brain power. 10%. So it's 90% of brain power that we lacking. And that's what, and the 90% is the misunderstanding of God's reality. That's why we live the way we live in this messed up condition, because it's 90% of brain power that we don't have, you know. And that's why I'm trying to make this so elementary. I'm not about to use no big words, you know. I'm not about to go take you through no Webster dictionary and talk about some stuff that you don't understand. I have to speak plain language, you know, because you would never go before God and say, God, I just couldn't understand. I mean, he was just speaking big words, and he started speaking all these. I've read a lot of books, and this is the elementary it's going to get. I'd be damned if I sit here and give you all these big names of who God was and who he is. And no, I don't care nothing about the name. Give me the elementary reality of God. Give me his elementary definition. That's it. Just give it to me plain and simple. Don't use no big words. Just give it to me plain. So that's why I'm giving it to you plain. You know, a 5-year-old can understand this. You know. So now look, we only use 10% of our brain power. So that means it's 90% of brain power that we lacking, right? Okay. You know how much brain power God used? The supreme being? 100%. Look at that. We use 10% of the brain, and God used 100% of the brain. That's the gap. That is the gap between us and the supreme being. That's what's wrong with us. That's it. It ain't the body. We got the body. It ain't the spirit. We got the spirit. Hell, I got the spirit. A lot of us out here got the spirit. We want to do right. You know, we got the desire to want to be righteous. But what's stopping us? Are we having a hard time? It's because we lacking 90% of our brain power. You know, we do not have the mind of God. This same mind that dictated and ignited and moved the atoms in triple darkness which from there, God started creating himself. You know? So, if this thought in the beginning looked at these atoms and said, you know what? I want to create a human being to put myself in. I need a body to put myself in. You know, I need to create with the atoms of earth for me to live on. I need to create from the atoms a sun to give me life while I'm on earth. You know, if he can do that with just his thinking, imagine if we had his thoughts. You know? So now, the gap between us and the supreme being is our mind. And I'm going to say this. The reason why we do not have the mind of God is because of our obedience. We have to obey. We have to obey. Why? Because in obedience, God will give us his mind to have power to change our reality. God makes reality. I don't just say he can control his own reality, but he makes reality. Meaning that before I was born, God gave me a reality. He said, you're going to have these parents, you're going to have this sister, this brother, these men amount of children, you're going to live in this city, whatever. So he wrote a script out for me in my life even before I was born. I didn't know he did. So he made a reality for me. So if God can make realities with using the percentage of brain power he has, then if we just get 50% of his brain power, we'll be able to change our own reality. But who controlling our reality? The person who controls our thinking. Who controls our thinking? Our enemy. Who our known obvious manifestation physical enemy is. It's the Caucasian race. I'm not saying it because I'm racist. Hell no. Come on, stop being goofy. It's 2020. We know what these people did to us. Through slavery, they took away our minds. We did not have this mind. We did not speak no English. We was not called Mr. Anderson, Mr. Johnson, Mrs. Smith. Those were Caucasian names. We did not have the religion, even when we and what we believed in. We was not Christians. Come on, they gave this to us because God and Jesus looked it like them. So in our love for God and Jesus, we fell in love with our slave master, which was the Caucasian race. And so we fell in love with a image that looked like them. We started to hate ourselves because white was our God. And our God had blue eyes and blonde hair and white skin. And we was the opposite of that, which was black. So anything that's the opposite of God is the devil, is to be hated, is to be despised. So these folks dealt with us psychologically, you know? And that's how they got us into submission. They took away our minds, you know? And it's another subject, but, you know, man, I wish I had a lot of time. They brought us evil. You know, we didn't know nothing about that. You know, we did it a little, but we didn't know the apex of evil. Listen to what I just said, the apex, the extreme of evil. You know, back then, somebody did something, you knew it was a white person crime or a black person crime. You know, now you don't know who did the crime. You know what I'm saying? You got to stop that. You know, like that baby cupcake. That was a sign on how evil we became. You got to read the signs. You know, that's why God been to tear our asses up because of situations like that. We becoming too wicked, you know, too wicked. We becoming just like these people, man. It was once upon a time we didn't do the things that these people did, but now we doing the same thing. Why? Because we have accepted their mind. We accepted the way they view reality. You understand what I'm saying? And we got to come out of that type of mindset. That's why Exodus means to come out. Well, God, where did you bring in the Hebrew Israelites out to? To another, to Africa? You want us to go to Africa? Leave out of Africa? No. Because if you take, look, I'm going to be on a project. If you take a project person from Kingston, Avondale, Gate City, no matter what project it is, and you send these people to Africa, we gonna make a Winona Projects in Africa. We gonna make a Loving Village in Africa. We gonna make a Gate City in Africa. You know? And them people gonna want us to hell out their country. So it ain't the coming out physically, it's the coming out mentally. God wants us to come out of the wicked mindset that the Caucasian people have introduced to us. You understand what I'm saying? And once we come out of that mind, then we will come to freedom because we have accepted the truth. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. You understand what I'm saying? Once we start accepting the truth, because a lot of us don't like to do that. You know, you tell a dude, bro, stop fucking hoes, bro, I don't want to hear that. Hey, woman, close your legs, I don't want to hear that. Bro, you got to stop drinking, bro, I don't want to hear that. Bro, you got to stop smoking, I don't want to hear that. Bro, you got to stop popping the pills, bro, I don't want to hear that. Bro, you got to stop snoring, bro, I don't want to hear that. We don't want to accept the truth. We don't care nothing about God. You know, that's why I'm up here explaining who God is, so we can't go to God and say, God, you never sent us one. That would be a lie. I would get your blood out of my hands today. You know, I may not be the best speaker, but you know what? When I do get to talking, you gonna feel me, and Allah, God gonna make sure you feel me. Now look, God consists of mind, body, and spirit. 3 elements. You can't have one without the other. Stop doing that. Listen, religious people, stop separating God. When we separate him, then we bring division because we do not give the people the truth about God. He finally revealed this to us. You know, we didn't know this stuff. Even some of the original people, you know, they didn't know this information. They didn't even know God was a man. And let me say this: if we read our Bible, and I'm gonna tell you some scriptures to go to prove that God have talked to man, he wrestled with man, walked with man, and a whole lot of stuff. People have seen God. You know, Genesis 3:5, Genesis chapter 1, 26th verse, Genesis 16, chapter 13th verse, Genesis 32:30, Genesis 50:19, Exodus 4:16, Exodus 7:1, Exodus 24:10, Exodus 24:11, Hebrew 11:27, Job 42:5, John 10, 34 to the 35th verse, John 14:9, Judges 13:12, Psalms 82:6, Psalms 58:1. Go read. Go read. So let's stop saying that God isn't a man, because God is a man. You are God. I am God. We just little gods. The only reason why we can't be the supreme being and we just a God and not the supreme being or the God is because we do not use 100% of our brain power. You know, but we have the same ability, the same capabilities to be the supreme being. Yes, I said it. Yes, you can be the supreme being. All you gotta do is use 1% of your brain power, then you're the supreme being. You become the all-knowing. You know, the best knower, the best planner, the all-seeing. Look at God, look at these attributes. These attributes that consist of God. The light of the world. Why you the light of the world? Because you will shine your light on the dark minds of the world. Because when you're living in darkness, you can't see your way out of your problems. You can't see yourself out of your pain. If we can really see ourselves out of our problem, we wouldn't even take substances. We wouldn't smoke weed, drink, none of that. Because we would find another alternative that we can go, a path that we can go that won't cause physical harm to ourselves trying to get pleasure. You know? So let's stop being goofy. God is a man, but not just the flesh that makes him God, not just the spirit that makes him God, not just the mind that makes him God. It's all three. Yes, God created us for a reason to have all three elements. If God just wanted us to be a mind, we would just be a mind. If God just wanted to stay a mind, he wouldn't have just stayed a mind. If he wanted to just be a body, he wouldn't have stayed a body. If he wanted to just be a spirit, he wouldn't have just stayed a spirit. You know? But he created all those three for a reason. And what religious people have done, they took one of these attributes and say, this who God is, and this is my organization, this is my clique, and I don't care nothing about the rest of it. You know, we got to stop doing it. We got to stop doing it. Because I want you to think about this. If you don't know who you are, then how could you have the potential and the agenda in life? If you don't know that you God, then what you aiming to do? Work a 9-to-5 job? Or always be a little God? Or always be a person who just serve God and never try to be like what you're serving? Come on, what type of teacher want the student to always be a student? You mean that the student ain't gonna never grow? You mean God, you not gonna never open up the secrets of the universe? You never gonna let us have your mind? We gotta always stay inferior and you stay superior? Come on. Why do we pray? Why do we fast? Why do we read books? You need books, you need prayer, you need fasting when people have lost their way. You know? So if you actually on a daily basis doing good, you don't need a book. If you're doing good, you don't need to pray. For what? For what? Eventually, we got to stop being the children of God and be the adult of God. You understand what I'm saying? Stop lowering your potentials. You are a God. But see what it is? Oh, let me say this. I'm going to tell you what it is. We don't want to be a God because God has a certain type of attribute that you have to live. The attributes and the characteristics that consist of God is positive and righteousness. So if I'm out here living an evil life, I don't want to be a God. I want to stay a human being, stay an African American or in some type of organization and not be a God because I don't want that responsibilities in my life. You know, because I want to continue to cause hell and cause evil and say, well, the only thing I can just confess that the Lord Jesus, the Son of God, he died and he rose again, so whoever shall believe in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. Okay, I'm saved. I get to go to damn heaven. Man, come on, man. We got to stop being goofy and stop playing with God, man. Come on. As long as we stay lowering our potentials, not wanting to be what we already are, then we're going to continue to live in the hood. It's going to always be a Mountain Brook and over the tracks be an Avondale Projects. Because we don't want to change our minds. When these white people, look at the fruits. These Caucasian people have made and created a fruit that has no seed. All fruit, all vegetables have seeds because it got to reproduce itself to stay in existence. What is my point? These people know that we are God. So they don't sit there and wait on no man in no sky to try to clone his existence and what he did. They try to be a God. You know? Come on. So if they out here messing with wealth and messing with the fruit, messing even with the animals, trying to clone things, what they telling us? Look, God is a man and he has a thought. And all you got to do is know the right type of thinking to create the right type of circumstance or condition on earth. Heaven and hell is two conditions, not two places up and down. It's 2020. Come on, we got to start peeping game. You know, if I'm sitting here the ruler of this world and I want people to be my slave, hell yeah, I'm going to tell them when they die, they going to heaven. Because I don't want you to challenge my rule. Because if you knew that heaven was on earth, then I could not make you work at no restaurants for no $7 goddamn an hour. I cannot put you in the project or in the hood. I cannot make you only want to play sports and do nothing that's mentally challenging like being a doctor or being a lawyer. So I'm going to tell you, look, dude, Get your heaven when you die, because these white people know when we die, we cannot come back and tell them that they lied to us. You understand what I'm saying? Come on. We got to change our thinking. We got to have the mind of God. We got the spirit. We got the body. Now get the mind. But you won't get the mind until you become obedient. And a lot of us don't want to obey. It's simple. Just stop with the foolishness. It's not hard. And I guarantee, look, and let me say this. I know we born into sin, shaped into iniquity. Meaning that we come into a world that tells us that what we're doing is evil, is good. So that confuses us. Because we can't decipher good from evil. So what that does is we say, well, you know what? Because I'm not brought in a world that is in totally submission to God, and these people totally get the pleasures from God. I'm brought into a world that get the pleasures of negative that Satan give us. Because if God is a man, Satan is a man. Satan is a devil maker. Satan is wise. Satan used damn near 30% of his brain power. Yes. I wish I shouldn't have put, let me put on here Satan. This Satan. He another man. And he used 30% of his brain power. But he makes devils. Us. You know, when this man right here said that the white man was the devil, he was talking about the mind of these people. You know? But he also said anybody who rebelled against the laws of God was the devil. They didn't want to tell y'all that part because they didn't want y'all to listen to what this man said. Stop being goofy, man. Anybody who tell us the damn truth, these white people ain't finna say, look, go to them. If we go to them and they wake us up, it will separate the relationship between us and them. So they not finna tell us to go out there. No black man that gonna tell us the truth, man. It's 2020, man. We supposed to peak game by that by now. If we ain't peeking that shit, that's because we want to continue to stay evil, and we're gonna say, Mr. White Man, he is evil. Yeah, he believe in that Allah do. Don't go to them. You know what I'm saying? They going to hell. Why? Because after you finna telling that white man that shit, you want to go pop a bill. Come on, man. Stop playing with God, man. You know, we know the truth. We know what be going on for real. Come on. You know, I talk to a lot of black dudes. I talk to a lot of black women. We up. All of us woke. Ain't none of us sleep. I'm telling you what I know. You understand what I'm saying? We just want to be asleep. You know what I'm saying? But you can't wake a person up who pretending to be asleep. Think about that. You know what I'm saying? So now, Satan, this man, is a devil maker. You know, and his job is to make sure we do not get the true knowledge of God. You understand what I'm saying? He don't want you to know that you are a God, because you will fight against him. You know, you will fight against his education system. You will fight against his political system. You will fight against all of the ministries that govern this nation, because inside of it is white supremacy. And we know that. You understand what I'm saying? Come on now. We know that. All of it. From the political system, the education system, judicial system, everything that governs America, it has white supremacy in it. You understand what I'm saying? Our job was to come here and do the labor to build America for these white people, man. So why the hell would they give us the thinking and the mind and the consciousness of God? That would be stupid of them. Come on. I wouldn't give it to you. If I was Satan, why would I give you the true reality of God? Now I'm going to say this and I'm going to end this, because I know I took a lot of you all time. But you got that? Mind, body, spirit. God is mind, body, and spirit. The big God used 100% of his brain. We only use 10%. We trying to have his mind. The only way we can have his mind is if we become obedient. You know? And after we get his mind, we start to change our reality. Now, let me end this with this. I got it in now. Y'all see this man right here? This light-skinned looking man? That's who we say Allah or God. Allah only means God. Come on. Don't get goofy on me. God, we say God came to us in the person of this man right here. Now you might be like, hold on, said. If Allah came to you all or God came to y'all in this person, that makes him God, the supreme being. Yes, you are right. But it ain't this man hair or skin complexion or the book in his hand or the suit he got on that makes him God, man. Stop being goofy. It's what lives inside of that you can't even see that makes him God. You know? This man taught Elijah Muhammad, his name was Elijah Poole, for 3.5 years. This man only went to the 4th grade. You know? But why would God choose a man who only went to the 4th grade? Because don't no scholar give a damn about no God. You know, people who making money don't care nothing about God because the money have became their God. You know, so the most educated you are, really, the more you shun God out your life because you think that your little small education that you got surpass and supersedes the knowledge and the reality of God. But this man inside of him was the mind of God. And now look, anytime you say that God is a man, you have to prove it. Definitely if you from the hood. Can't nobody from Gate City say, you know what, I talk to God. Don't definitely let him have diamonds in his mouth or some go and look like me. Or nigga, you got to prove it, nigga. You got to prove it. Thought travels 24 billion miles per second. Light traveled at 186,000 miles per second. The earth weighs 6 sextillion tons, a unit followed by 21 cycles. You know, the earth travels at 1,037 1/3 miles per hour. You know, so God had to come give him some information or a mathematical equation of the universe that the world could bear witness to. Because the minute you say you talk to God and you said that light travels at 186,000 miles per second, they in the Arab scientists, the white scientists, the Asian scientists, they said, no, we said that light travels at 180,000 miles per second. So they go look at the equation that you gave them and they say, well, Elijah said that God taught him that light travels at 186,000 miles per second. Well, let's go back to our laboratories and see that was this Negro right. They go back to their laboratory. Well, I be goddamn. All of the information that he gave us made us advance in our technology. Damn, this nigga talked to God for real. Well, hold on. He said that Pluto was 4,600,000,000 miles away. Don't see. Well, I'd be damned. We got our little robot there at the exact same mile. Well, this man really talked to God. So the Arab scientists, the Asian scientists, the white scientists said, keep him a secret. Assassinate his character. Make him look bad in the eyes of his people so we would not know that he talked to God. But you might say, well, why God got to be light-skinned? It was 1930. People wanted to be white so bad that they was bleaching their skin. A Negro that come looking like Wesley Snipes talking about that he's the supreme being, we definitely weren't going to listen to this nigga. Oh, I don't care if he wouldn't have gave us the right accuracy. We forget that he just too black. So God had to come in the right skin complexion to come amongst us. Come on. You understand what I'm saying? If you in a Crip neighborhood or a Blood neighborhood, I'm just saying you in a Crip neighborhood and you see these dudes with every Crip got an AR in their hand. You not finna wear no red rag. Come on. You know what I'm saying? If you a real scary Negro, you will go try to put some blue on to be in disguise, to go amongst them so they won't do nothing to you. So God had to be in disguise to come amongst us. Come on. Now, let me tell you something. Yes, God got power. But don't you know these white people are so wicked? If they knew that this man was the supreme being and he stayed amongst us, they would try to kill him. Man, white folks are holly. They don't give a damn about nothing. Because think about it. It's a check a chess move to them. If they can try to kill the supreme being, they feel like they can extend their rule. God only gave them 6,000 years to rule, so they feel like they can knock this man off. Then guess what? They can stay in power long. You get what I'm saying? But God taught this man, who only went to the poor, to show his power by raising an illiterate man. You understand what I'm saying? And putting his mind in his. So this man, Master Fard Muhammad, was the supreme being. And Elijah, I'm sorry, screwed my hand right. Elijah Muhammad was the little God. He was the little God. But I'm going to say this. If God was to give Elijah his mind, then guess what? If he talked to the supreme being, this little will come to the big God. So he's a big God now. He's a big God now, like this big God. Because now he talked directly to the supreme being. You see? And Elijah Muhammad's job was to give us the game. Because if God gave Elijah Muhammad his mind, if Master Fard Muhammad gave Elijah Muhammad his mind, then Elijah Muhammad came the reflection of Master Fard Muhammad, which was the supreme being. Then now, hold on now, because don't get goofy on me. What's the job of Elijah Muhammad now? The job of Elijah Muhammad is to make us a God. You see? So let me say it like this. I'm going to write like this and I'm going to go. I'm going to say this and I'm going to go. Look. I got to go back to my men. This Fard. This Elijah. So this Fard. This Elijah. God gave, this is supreme being, this is mine. This mind was to go in this mind when he taught him. So this mind got transferred to this mind. Now, this man, because now look, God always raised one from amongst us to teach us. Why? Because guess what? I can speak the language of the hood. You know, if you from the hood or from the ghetto, from the project, you feel me. Because I can speak your language because I come from where you come from. You know, I ate syrup sandwiches. You know, my mama life cut off. My aunties, uncles on drugs, alcoholics in my family. They come and get old. I mean, I could probably sit down with anybody in the hood. We could probably be talking, building, politicking about our personal life. And I guarantee you, our personal life is similar. Whatever y'all going through, I done been through the same thing and going through the same thing. Y'all are no different from me. I'm no different than you are. We the same. We brothers and sisters. You understand what I'm saying? So that means that I can relate to you. If God talked to you, I can relate to you more than an Arab or a Chinese or some other person. Because you can talk to my soul because your soul have been affected like my soul have been. I can accept the knowledge that you give me, and you can deliver the knowledge the way I need to accept it, because both our life have been afflicted, you know? So we can speak the language to each other more than some Chinese man trying to explain to you and me about God and all that. I mean, you don't really, hold on, bro. First of all, I ain't even understand. I got to pick up what the hell you're saying. You kind of lose me because you don't, you know, your dialect or whatnot. So now, Elijah Muhammad's job. So Elijah Muhammad taught Farrakhan. He gave him his mind. So now watch this. If Fard taught Elijah and Elijah taught Farrakhan, Fard taught Elijah and Elijah taught Farrakhan, and they was passing each other's mind to each other, then this was a God, Then he made him a god. And then when he made him a god, he made him a god. Now listen, and I'm going to end it with this. If Pharaoh made Elijah a god and Elijah made Farrakhan a god, then what's Farrakhan's job is to do? Is to make all of us a god. His job is to pass on the mind to us. What teacher want a student to always be a student? His job was to make all of us have his mind, because the mind that we had would consist of slavery. Thought produces reality. How you know what type of mind you got? Go look out there. Look at your life. Everything that's in your life comes from your thinking. If you can't get out of your reality or change your reality because you got the wrong type of thoughts. So you need the right type of thought. And what thought you need? You need the mind of God. You need the mind of God. And so what's so important about this man, Farrakhan? What's so important about him? Because we need an example on how to get the mind of God and what it takes to have the mind of God. And he was to show us an example on what you have to go through. He had to be the Jesus figure in our midst. Was not Jesus prosecuted for being righteous and delivering the truth? Was not he crucified? Go read your Bible. Read the Bible. Look at what Jesus been through. All because the man wanted to get the people the game. All because he wanted to tell the people the truth. He got killed because he was living amongst the evil people that didn't want to hear that shit. They didn't want to hear nothing about no God, nothing about their truth. Just let me club, let me drink, let me live my evil life and leave me alone, dude. We're going to die any damn way. That was our thinking. So to all the chosen people, God, all the righteous, all the ones who wanted to change the reality, Farrakhan had to show us the example. And I'm going to say this. They're going to try to arrest Minister Louis Farrakhan. You know, they're going to try to do something to him in public. But all it's just written, it's showing us what we have to go through. But these people can't really do nothing to him. You know, not to his spirit. You know, not to his mind. God let them mess with this all day. Send it to jail. You want to kill it, kill whatever you want to do what you want to do with it. You understand what I'm saying? Which I doubt if they can kill them, just keep it real. They probably can send them to jail, but they ain't gonna really even touch that for real. I'm just keeping it real with you. You understand what I'm saying? But in war, you know, sometimes you have to lose your life and sometimes you have to be incarcerated when it comes down to truth. But if you punk out, then what you think God gonna do to your spirit? You think he gonna let it come back in? Continue to keep coming back in as a punked ass spirit? Come on. We have to fight, man. We have to fight. Let's fight. You know, the first fight is in our minds. Let's get away that evil mind so we can have the mind of God. That's the real war of the Armageddon and Babylon and all that last war in the sky in your mind. We're trying to get rid of this old mind to have the mind that this man Elijah got from the Supreme Being who left us an example on what you're going to have to go through in order to get this mind. Farrakhan ain't nothing but an example. That's it. When you go look at Farrakhan, listen to his lectures. Look how he talk. Look what he had to go through in order to get that type of mind to speak like that. He got to get prosecuted. He got to go through the thing. He got to live that in the Bible. He got to be that Jesus in that Bible. A lot of us don't want to be that. A lot of us don't want to go through that prosecution. You know? But I fear nothing. I fear nothing. You know? I don't fear no white people. I don't even feel the evil that's in me that I have to that I do fight every day to get out of my mind. You understand what I'm saying? We only got a certain amount of time left. We better hurry up and wake up. I'm telling you, when Noah was building that ark, because it was going to rain 40 days and 40 nights, we better get in that ark. You know, that ark means the thinking of God. We better get in that in that safe havens, you know, because only the mind will be the light in darkness, because it's about to be some dark days. It's about to rain 40 days and 40 nights. You see what I'm saying? And if you don't have the mind of God, you know what's going on from there. You know what happened from there. So now, God is spirit. God is mind. God is body. You know, the Bible said, don't be scared of the person who can kill the body, who can mess with, destroy the body. Be scared of the person who can kill the body and soul. God is the only person who can kill us all, spirit and body. You understand what I'm saying? So that's who we fear. We fear no one else. You understand what I'm saying? So to the Christian world, you're right, God is a spirit. But quit just saying he's just a spirit. He's a spirit, all right, but he lives inside of us. Mary said, it's the God in me. It's the God in me. All right, so I couldn't really go into a lot of signs. I just hit the elementary parts there. So I hope y'all got this. Any questions, you know, just feel free to get in my inbox or whatever and ask me about. But I hope y'all got this. I'm gonna do some more lectures or whatnot, you know, later on down the road. I just want us to stop dividing over religion. Moses, Jesus, Muhammad taught the same thing, and that was obeying God. I don't care what you say you believe. If you're not obeying God, then you are being hypocritical, you know, and you're not leading the people the way they need to go, you know. To have the mind of God, you have to be obedient. No matter what you say you believe in, you got to practice what you believe. If you don't practice what you believe, then your belief counts for nothing, you know. And have faith in the unseen. The unseen is the thinking of your mind. If you understand, if you got in your mind what God desired for you to do and what he gives you the reward for doing that, then have faith in it. Believe in it. It might not be here yet. It might not be seen yet, but it's coming. Have faith. Have belief. Work, do actions in your belief. All right? Faith without work is what? It's dead.